When I finally came out, it was more or less like, how did I handle figuring out that I think I'm gay? Because I don't think I really knew. I think I thought I was gay, but I wasn't quite sure. I knew I liked girls. I knew that I was looking at a girl. I would see a girl and see a guy, and then my eyes would wander towards the girl. And I know that's not how it's supposed to be. How did I handle it? I think I cried about it. I prayed about it. I was in denial about it. At some point, I just didn't know what to do with myself. It was just kind of, you just go through everyday routine doing what people expect you to do and just hoping that it'll just go away. And it just never went away. Like, I had a boyfriend. I think me and this guy dated for like 2 years, and I didn't want to do anything with him. I didn't even want him to touch me. And during this time period, I think it's unfair to him that he got caught up in that time, but I was really trying to figure out what was going on. And then I was struggling with it. I don't know what was going on. I was like, I don't know what to do. I think I'm gay. I like girls. I like girls. One day I just sat down. I think I said, I like girls. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know what else to do about it. But I have to tell somebody before I explode. And then my friends came home from school, and lo and behold, I don't know if they were going through a phase or whatever, and they were just like, guess what? What? I have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend? Well, guess what? I like girls too. Now, that's probably not typical, but that's really what happened. And so that summer that I guess it will be coming out, it was really fun. I have to say, I told my parents. They said they already knew, and they could have told me. I didn't know. But we had fun. I think I went to every gay bar in my city at that time. And just got to know the environment and got to know my surroundings and understand kind of what was going on. One of my friends actually introduced me to my first girlfriend. I don't know if she's my girlfriend, but whatever. And when we finally connected, it was definitely, I felt like something that had been missing. I was no longer missing anymore. So it was rough though. It was definitely rough, especially I was in college. And by this time, the time I came out and was like really open and out, I was a senior. What was my 5th year? But I was a senior in college. I guess it was my last year. And I was always, I wouldn't say I was popular, but I was well known. I'm friendly. I like to talk. I like to be outgoing. And when you are known to be a friendly, outgoing person, and you're this, you're that, and then you come back and then you're not, or people start to speculate, it hurt my feelings on some level, I guess, because people that I consider to be my friends or good associates that I talk to and work with every day, instead of just asking me what was going on or something had changed, they would smile in my face and then turn around and whisper to each other, well, is this a gay? Or what's going on? And it's kind of like you just ask me. Don't look at me any differently. I'm still the same person I was last year. I mean, it's only been the summer. Nothing's really happened. I'm not hitting on you. So, it was definitely slightly difficult, and then I think I vented about it, and I had some really good friends at the time, and at some point I just didn't care anymore. I got to a point where it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and it is what it is. I'm not a femme, so to not have to put on, I guess, a front and dress up, because that's not really what I wanted to do, definitely caused more of a commotion, because it's like, well, why is Cece in jeans and a hoodie? And everybody else is a prancing around campus in miniskirts and pumps. And that created more of a commotion. And for myself, I had to get comfortable with being me and being comfortable with letting everybody else see me for me. It's easier to put on a pair of tight jeans, tank top, and prance around than it is to put on a hoodie and a sweatshirt and some Timbs, because people look at you from the outside in instead of the inside out. So I was no longer the CC that pranced around campus. I was like, oh, who is this new CC? And I was still the same person the entire time. But some people stopped talking to me. Some people said they were my friends, but hey, I never really talked to you anymore. I don't know what's going on. But once I became comfortable with who I was, then it didn't matter anymore. It was just like, well, this is me. I'm gonna do me, and that's just it. And what I will say is the friends that I had then that were around then, most of them, not all of them, are still around, and some of them that were around that decided to not be around have come back around because we're older. It's a good 8 years has passed at this point. We're older now. Things have changed, and it is what it is. I'm happy with me, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tell anybody who's walking around confused to come out.
Coming out wasn't easy for me. Coming out was very hard, very hard. And again, it was hard because of my family, and it was hard because of me. I felt like people viewed me as close to perfect in many ways. I was a goody two-shoes. I could not have anything bad on my record. My mother would kill me, so I had to hide it. I didn't come out. It took me 10 years to come out. So I went from junior year of high school all the way up until after college, maybe two years after college that I hit this. 10 years of hiding, 10 years of being in the closet is not easy. And let me tell you, I have had some stressful days. I thank God that I'm still here and that I didn't give up and that I didn't let ridicule and criticism and ostracizing make me decide to take my own life, because there have been some dark, lonely days that I have faced because of my sexual preference. The first person who was extremely important to me who found out about my sexuality was my sister. And it was an accident. I guess I had gotten too comfortable with myself and feeling like I had mastered covering things up. I slipped up one day. She saw an interaction between myself and my best friend, and it made her question. And I knew it. The second my sister saw it, I knew she was going to ask me about my sexuality. So I was immediately on edge and trying to come up with a game plan in my head as to how I was going to justify what she saw or to deny it. And I knew that I couldn't pull the wool over my sister's eyes. She was just too slick, too wise for that. So I remember the day like it was yesterday. She came to me later on that evening and she asked me, she said, okay, Shantae, I'm going to ask you something and I want you to be honest with me. And if you lie to me, and if I find out years from now or later that you lied to me, I'm going to be very upset with you. And she said that to me, and immediately I was just taken aback. I didn't know what to do. So she asked me, she said, are you and such, are you all girlfriends? Are you in a relationship? And I sit there, and my heart is racing like 1,000 miles a minute, and I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to say? And out my mouth, I look my sister in the eye and I say, no, I'm not gay, and no, we're not dating. And I knew you were going to say that, and I gave her so much attitude. I mean, I'm talking, I played the role like she had called me out of my name. No, I'm not gay. No, that is nasty. The whole nine. And she said, okay. But if you come back, tomorrow or a week from now, whatever, and tell me that you are in fact gay, I'm going to be mad with you, and my feelings are going to be hurt. She is playing it, and I'm like, okay. So she goes her way, I go my way, and I'm bawling. I am crying my eyes out because I feel so horrible. I have lied to my sister. My sister is like my second mother, and I lied to her about my sexuality. So I'm sitting in my room, and I'm crying, and I'm trying to debate, what am I going to do? What am I supposed to do right now? All this time I've had nobody to turn to. I've had no outlets. This is something that is so scary. It is ridiculous. And now I'm kind of have an ultimatum. It's like either I tell her or I don't. She's going to find out years from now because this is not going away. It's not going to go anywhere overnight. This is me. So I had to make a decision. Do I tell my sister or do I not tell my sister? What do I have on the line? I have to risk everything. I have to risk my sister telling my mother. I have to risk my whole family knowing. I have to risk losing my family. I have to risk the embarrassment. I have to risk my mother potentially putting me in some type of counseling. I didn't know what to do, but at the same time, I did not want to lie to my sister because I am an honest person, and it just hurt me to know that I would be lying to her. So what do you do? What do you do? I pondered, I prayed, I cried, I did everything. And finally, later on that night, I went into my sister's room, and I laid on her floor, and I said, can I talk to you? She said, yeah, you can talk to me. I said, you promise I can talk to you? I don't want you to tell mommy. That was my biggest, please, just whatever you do, don't tell mommy. Can you please not tell mommy? Okay, Tay, I'm not going to tell mommy what's going on. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know what to do. And luckily, my sister was, she was in school for psychology. This happened when I was, this was my second year in college. She and I had an apartment together, and our colleges were very close, so it was just more affordable for us to have an apartment together. So we were roommates, and she was able to see a lot of my habits and things that my mother had not seen and wasn't able to see. So with my sister being in this psych major, she was very helpful. And I'm so grateful for that even today, because she helped me to become comfortable with who I am. She asked me various questions. I thought they were kind of crazy at the time because I felt like she was using me as one of her guinea pigs in her psych class, but they were helpful. I do know that her advice to me was, after we had this long discussion, she said, okay, well, you have this dilemma. So what I suggest is for you to try both. I think you should go and have sex with a girl, and I think you should have sex with a boy. Now, at this time, I was a virgin, and although, I was doing things with my best friend / girlfriend, it wasn't anything too sexual, a couple of little, minor things. But I had not, gone all the way with her. So my sister told me, try out both of them, and whichever one you like the most is what you do. But my biggest concern was, but this is a sin. This is a sin. This is a sin. This is a sin. What am I supposed to do about that? So I'm thinking, okay. How about if I just go and be straight, and force myself to be intimate with the boyfriend / cover-up. And then I'll just think about being with the girl, because there's no harm in thinking about it, right? No, not the case. She says, well, Tay, if you think about it, it's a sin too. Jeez. Okay. So, I can't do it. If I do it, it's a sin. If I think about it, it's a sin. So I need to go and be with this dude, and then I won't be sinning, right? I couldn't force myself to do it. So I made up in my mind, well, if thinking about it is a sin, I cannot not think about it, so I'm just going to do it then, because it's going to be a sin anyway. And that's what happened. That's what happened. So from that moment on, I was a lesbian, and I was okay with it, as long as my mother didn't know. And that's how it went. My sister knew, and I had her as an outlet. I could talk to her about different things. She would check in with me often, see how I was feeling, what was going on. This was my outlet. My sister was my outlet. So my sister knew, and some very close friends of mine knew as well. The friends that were like me. I had found out that, discovered that